Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Monday at noon, 3 and 6 p.m. and again is re-aired later throughout the weekend with the other weekday broadcast replays. Today is March 19th, 2018, and now the news at noon.
According to the Cortez Journal, authorities are looking into a possible link between a death Wednesday at the Colorado-New Mexico state line and a robbery-turned-fatal shooting Sunday in Pagosa Springs. The New Mexico State Police is investigating a death that occurred Wednesday at the state line. The Pagosa Springs Police Department is investigating a robbery-turned-shooting Sunday at the Ski and Bow Rack Shop. The state police has not yet released the identity of the victim or the cause of death near the state line, but the two agencies are looking into whether the incidents are connected. Attempts to reach the state police were not immediately successful Thursday. Pagosa Springs town manager Andrea Phillips also did not immediately return a phone call Thursday seeking comment. Police have not identified a suspect in connection with the shooting at Ski and Bow Rack, which occurred about 9:20 p.m. at 354 East Pagosa Street. The owner, Larry Fisher, age 71, was flown to the trauma center at St. Anthony's Hospital in Lakewood, where he was later pronounced dead around 4:30 a.m. Monday. Police believe Fisher, who may have been working late, interrupted the burglary. He was shot once in the chest by a suspect with a handgun. The only motive appears to be burglary, police said. However, nothing specific has been reported as stolen during the incident, according to a previous report. Law enforcement has interviewed dozens of people about the shooting and is waiting for evidence from the crime scene to be processed by the Colorado Bureau of Investigation's Crime Lab, Phillips said in a news release. The evidence processing will take several weeks and may be longer, the release said. The suspect, who was captured on surveillance cameras, wore a hooded camouflage jacket and what looked like snow pants. A possible vehicle is being sought in connection with the incident, a late 1980s to 1990s white Toyota 4Runner or Nissan Pathfinder, very muddy with possible homemade camouflage on the bottom of the vehicle and a roof rack.
Reported in the Journal, a Texas man who was killed Thursday on Wolf Creek Pass was standing outside his vehicle when a second car struck him, according to the Colorado State Patrol. The victim has now been identified as Jian Wang, 40, of Plano, Texas. Wang was driving west on U.S. Highway 160 about 4 p.m. when he lost control of his 2015 Toyota Sienna and collided with a concrete barrier at milepost 160, said Captain Adrian Driscoll of the State Patrol. Driscoll said Wang and his wife exited their vehicle and were walking alongside it when Wang was struck by another vehicle traveling westbound. They saw smoke from the airbags and thought the car was on fire, so he and his wife got out of the car while it was still in motion, Driscoll said. The second vehicle, a 2014 GMC SUV, was driven by Michael Wagliardo, age 39, of Dallas, Texas. Wang was pronounced dead at the scene, Driscoll said, because inclement weather was a factor in the crash. CSP will not pursue charges. Wolf Creek ski area reported receiving 8 inches of snow in the past 24 hours last Friday, and it was really bad weather and the driver just didn't see him, he said. It was foggy and snowing pretty hard. The crash closed Wolf Creek Pass for several hours. U.S. Highway 160 then reopened around 7:20 p.m.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, a Bayfield woman faces charges after police said she caused a head-on crash Saturday on U.S. Highway 160 with a motorcycle, leaving one person dead and another in critical condition. Catherine Phelps, age 75, was charged with one count of careless driving causing death, a misdemeanor, said Colorado State Patrol Captain Adrian Driscoll. Phelps was headed westbound on U.S. Highway 160 in a 2010 Subaru Forester around 12:30 p.m. Saturday when at the County Road 501 intersection she turned left in front of a 2007 Harley Davidson. The driver of the motorcycle, who was pronounced dead at the scene, has been identified as 48-year-old Jason Dupas of Durango. A passenger on the motorcycle, Don Dupas, age 53, of Durango, was transported to Mercy Regional Medical Center with critical injuries, Driscoll said. Mercy spokesman David Brucese said Sunday that Don Dupas was transferred to another hospital for further care. A spokeswoman at St. Anthony's Hospital in Lakewood said Dupas was listed in critical condition as of 12:30 p.m. Driscoll said authorities do not suspect drugs, alcohol, or excessive speed were factors in the crash. Phelps sustained minor injuries in the crash. Jason and Don Dupas were not wearing helmets, police said. They were thrown from the bike in the crash. A conviction on careless driving resulting in death can result in a maximum sentence of 1 year in a county jail. It's a lesser charge for people authorities believe were driving inattentively rather than more serious charges of vehicular homicide or assault.
Political news from the Journal in Cortez. Photos from the Journal. Montezuma County Commissioner candidate Jim Candelaria was the sole candidate voted onto the Republican primary ballot during a landslide victory last Friday night at the County Assembly in Cortez. Incumbent James Lambert did not receive enough votes to make the ballot and announced Saturday that he will drop out of the race. Candidate Charlie Rosenbaum may petition onto the ballot. The winner of the Republican primary on June 26 will face off against Democrat Mary Beth or MB McAfee and unaffiliated candidate Steve Chappelle in the November general election. In the Montezuma County Democrats Assembly on Saturday, McAfee was unanimously voted onto the ballot by 57 delegates. The party selected 12 delegates to go to the regional and state assemblies. Candelaria received 55 votes as the favored Republican candidate for county commission out of 118 delegates, one of whom abstained from voting for commissioner. Candelaria said, "I was pleasantly surprised at the strong level of support, and I'm very thankful for the delegates putting their faith in me. Getting on the primary ballot is just the first hurdle, so I will continue to campaign hard and get my message out." Lambert and Rosenbaum may petition onto the ballot, but each would need to gather 760 signatures from local registered Republican voters by March 20th at 5 p.m., according to the Montezuma County Clerk's office. Montezuma County Republican Chairman Danny Wilkins said Rosenbaum plans to petition onto the ballot. Lambert decided that the task of obtaining 760 signatures in 4 days was too steep. For the remainder of his term, Lambert said he will focus on getting the Dolores Norwood Road officially transferred to the county from the U.S. Forest Service and on fine-tuning the Vehicle Fleet Department, which he helped start to manage and maintain county vehicles.
Reported by the Durango Herald with a photo from the Durango Herald file. The Environmental Protection Agency has ordered Sunnyside Gold Corporation, the company that owned Silverton's last operating mine, to investigate the groundwater around one of its mines. The order comes just weeks after the corporation declared further study of mine pollution in the Animas River headwaters would be wasteful and is not required. On Thursday, the EPA sent Sunnyside Gold a unilateral administrative order to investigate the groundwater system around Sunnyside Mine, one of the largest mining networks in the area. The EPA believes previous mining operations have significantly altered the groundwater system and, as a result, have caused other mines to discharge waste and contaminate the headwaters of the Animas River. Rebecca Thomas, EPA project manager, told the Durango Herald on Thursday the company is being held liable for investigations as well as the cost based on Sunnyside Gold's past ownership and actions in the mining district. Included in the order is a list of actions the EPA wants Sunnyside Gold to perform this summer, including drilling a well into the American Tunnel and monitoring some of the bulkheads in the area. Depending on the findings of those investigations, the EPA then has the authority to order Sunnyside Gold to conduct further operations if necessary to understand the way groundwater works in the upper Cement Creek area. And now let's take a look at the weather.
The national weather is showing some extreme conditions as AccuWeather reports. Severe thunderstorms, including a few tornadoes, will threaten lives and property across the southeast early this week. The system that ignited a few severe storms over central Texas to close out the weekend will encounter warm and humid air from the Tennessee Valley to part of the southern Atlantic coast into Tuesday. Strait anticipates areas from Tennessee to Alabama, Georgia, and perhaps even the South Carolina low country to face thunderstorms that could produce large hail and strong winds capable of snapping tree branches and downing power lines. A double-barreled storm will spread wet snow and travel disruptions from parts of Tennessee and Kentucky up to the coastal New Hampshire area and Maine as winter winds winds down and spring begins. Spring officially arrives Tuesday at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, March 20th, the storm with wintry precipitation will straddle two seasons in the Northeast. Meanwhile, in the West, residents in the burn areas around Southern California are being put on alert for major mud flows and flooding as the start of spring is expected to coincide with the return of rain across the state. After a dry start to the week, a new storm will spread rain across most of California on Tuesday, the official start of spring, and additional periods of rain are expected to follow into Thursday. And the central U.S. back up into the northern Rockies, the potential for a mix of snow and rain remains through Tuesday. Regionally, you saw that big H standing for a high pressure system that pushed yesterday's snow on through to the east, but with some cold temperatures left behind for today. Snow will linger across Colorado's northern and central mountains today and tonight, bringing an additional 1 to 2 inches of snow, mainly during the morning. The next chance for significant accumulating snow arrives Wednesday night and could potentially bring periods of rain and snow to the area into Friday. The local DCTV 5-day outlook. Last night I had a low of 8 degrees southwest of Dove Creek, so hopefully we'll get some warming up today. Mostly sunny with a high near 40 degrees, west winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming north-northwest 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Then tonight mostly cloudy with a low around 21, north-northwest winds 5 to 15 miles an hour, becoming east after midnight. Tuesday mostly sunny with a high near 49 degrees, east winds around 5 miles an hour, becoming west-southwest in the afternoon. Then Tuesday night mostly cloudy with a low around 30, southwest winds around 5 miles an hour, becoming southeast after midnight. Wednesday, we start with partly sunny with a high near 58, south winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 39. And then it's Thursday, we have a 30% chance of showers, mainly afternoon, mostly cloudy with a high near 61 degrees. Thursday night, a chance of showers, cloudy with a low around 40. And then Friday, again, a chance of showers with thunderstorms also possible in the afternoon. Partly sunny with a high near 56 degrees, and Friday night partly cloudy with a low around 32. Saturday mostly sunny with a high near 56 right now, and Saturday night partly cloudy with a low around 29. And now back to the news.
Reported by the Durango Herald, a suicide survivor who jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge will share his story in Durango this week. Kevin Hines jumped in 2000 after he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. It was a decision he instantly regretted, and since then he has become a nationally recognized activist for mental health. Fort Lewis College student wellness coordinator Kendra Gallegos Reachley and 2 other students saw Hines speak at a conference last year, a few months after FLC graduate Giancarlo Vigil died by suicide. In the months after Vigil's death, it seemed like suicide was constantly in the news, she said. They said Hines's message would resonate with Durango residents and decided to bring him to town through Fort Lewis College's Wellness Peer Advisory Council, or WellPAC. I believe that Kevin speaks our community's language. One of his main messages, "It's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay not to ask for help," is powerful and life-changing, said Veronica Krupnik, another student who saw Hines speak last year and who helped organize this local appearance. Gallegos Reachley hopes Hines's message will help the community be more open about suicide and mental health and inspire attendees to support others in the community. Many people experience thoughts of suicide and hopelessness or know someone with similar struggles. A community conversation can help normalize that struggle for others who may not be seeking counseling, she said.
From the Durango Herald, harassment in Colorado government goes beyond the State House. Nearly 3 of every 1,000 Colorado state government agency workers have filed a sexual harassment claim at work in the past 5 years, a Rocky Mountain PBS investigation found. Sexual harassment allegations rocked the General Assembly this year and led it to oust one of its own members, Representative Steve Lebsuck, for the first time since 1915. But workplace sexual harassment spreads far beyond the State House into the 17 principal agencies that employ more than 24,000 Coloradans. An RMPBS analysis of complaints compiled by the Colorado Department of Personnel and Administration shows several state agencies with multiple harassment complaints filed in the past 5 years. The most came from the Colorado Department of Transportation, or CDOT, which had doubled the rate of complaints of any other state agency. CDOT, with nearly 3,000 employees, received 21 of the 62 complaints handled by the state between 2013 and the end of 2017. All but one involved a male accused of harassing a female. Anything higher higher than zero is a concern, said Susan Rafferty, Chief Human Resource Officer for CDOT. We want this to be a place where we have zero sexual harassment occurring. Rafferty said an investigation determined more than half of the CDOT complaints were unfounded. However, she said it is possible the staff's significant gender disparity, 82% men and 18% women, played a role in some of the complaints. I want to make sure that every woman and man feels comfortable to come to work and isn't subjected to anything that makes them uncomfortable, said Rafferty, attributing some of the complaints to lack of awareness. It's not easy to talk about. Since the national #MeToo movement gained momentum in the fall of 2017, Rafferty said the state revised its online sexual harassment training program and required employees to review it. Before the #MeToo movement, CDOT launched the Women at CDOT initiative when administrators discovered the department had a lower percentage of female staff members than most other transportation departments around the country. The department hopes to shift the culture and recruit more women like Cindy Deering, who works on a special unit that clears debris from the highway. I wish we'd seen more women, said Deering, who has worked at CDOT for 14 years. As long as you have the perseverance, you're capable of doing anything you want to do. Rafferty said the program's goal is to increase the number of female employees to at least meet the 22.5% national average for state transportation agencies. CDOT is hiring more entry-level positions, expanding its internship program, and revising the job application process to make it more gender-friendly. Previously, an application might have said an employee must be capable of lifting 60 to 70 pounds, but now an application might describe that weight by equating it to the size of a child. Parentheses, something more relatable, Rafferty said. Rafferty said she hopes the Women at CDOT program will help reduce the number of sexual harassment complaints within the agency. I think one of the big things is just starting the conversation. It's awkward, she said. What can we do to reduce barriers? I think any type of research would show that the most high-performing organizations have representation from men and women and people of all different backgrounds. And I think that's something that we are really striving for. The Department of Natural Resources, with nearly 1,500 employees, had 8 complaints over the 5-year span, the second highest for any department. The analysis excluded public colleges and universities, the judicial branch, and the state legislature. The Department of Corrections, which employs nearly 6,000 workers, had 6 complaints in the same span.
According to the Durango Herald, the trials of Odysseus are really not that different from the struggles of those learning to readjust after wars of today, modern veterans are finding. A small group of military veterans has been meeting weekly in a classroom at the University of Vermont to discuss the Iliad and the Odyssey for college credit, and to give meaning to their own experiences, equating the close order discipline of men who fought with spears, swords, and shields to that of men and women who do battle these days with laser-guided munitions. Homer isn't just for student veterans. Discussion groups are also being offered at veteran centers in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. The Maine Humanities Council has sponsored sessions for veterans incarcerated at Maine's Kennebec County Jail, as well as for other veterans. For many in the UVM class, Homer's 2,800-year-old verses seem all too familiar. The siege of Troy, the difficult quest of Odysseus to return home after 10 years at war, his anguish at watching friends die, and his problems readjusting to civilian life. Enrollment in the class, taught by John Franklin, an associate professor of classics, is limited to veterans. The current class includes veterans from wars in Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan. There are no papers or tests, and the grade is based entirely on class participation and an understanding of the material.
From the Dove Creek Chamber of Commerce, another successful 4-States Ag Expo happened last weekend, with representation from Dolores County by an awesome turnout for the Dolores County Search and Rescue, the Dolores County Farmers Market, yes, it is a thing, more on that later, and the Dove Creek Chamber of Commerce. We thoroughly enjoyed all of the Dolores County friends visiting the booth and had some great reception by Montezuma County residents interested in both the Farmers Market opportunity in Dove Creek and the events supported by the Chamber featuring the Three Sisters Ag Fest, Kendra Cook, manager of the Chamber, said. The news is that the first meeting of the local Farmers Market will be held in the beginning of April, and the first market will open around the Dove Creek Press Office building on both Saturday and Sunday starting May 5th and 6th. You may think of the market as just fresh-grown produce, and for us that isn't ready to go until much later in the season. But thanks to the Colorado cottage food industry opportunities, there are quite a lot of food items that can be sold by being created in a non-commercial kitchen while following their guidelines and simple, straightforward regulations. Items that might be available in those early markets would be sprouts grown inside, starts for sale, baked goods, breads and pies, and canned goods that meet the criteria. To find out more about what you can and can't sell, you can go online or follow the Dolores County Farmers Market Facebook page or website, dovecreekfood.org, to read the rules. There may be a food handler safety course also becoming available locally in the near future, so stay tuned, as they say. The Dove Creek Chamber is highly supportive of all things ag, as that makes up a very high percentage of Dolores County's economy. The Chamber has set the date for this year's second annual Three Sisters Ag Fest and Zucchini launch. It's September 22nd, 2018 at the Dolores County Fairgrounds. Save the date. Some things have changed over the last year's event. There again will be a cooked food competition this year featuring the bean as the key ingredient in sweet and savory categories, along with the biggest zucchini and the favorite Zucchini Kids Catapult competition. We're also reaching out for sponsors to bring the best live music to enjoy during the event, and to those who would be interested in the 18 and older Catapult Trebuchet Bazooka or Slingshot Zucchini Launch Competition to enter for longest distance and accuracy categories. As spring has just sprung, we are looking forward to a great year of successful young and new events around our agricultural heritage, and look forward to your participation so we can all be growing the future together. For more information on the Greater Dove Creek Chamber of Commerce, visit them on Facebook or online, dovecreekchamber.com, or call 970-560-2856.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of March 12th through the 18th. A local business called concerned about a client. A caller reported a possible abandoned vehicle on a county road in the Slick Rock area. The caller was referred to the San Miguel Sheriff's Office. Officers completed several requests for civil service duties. A resident reported a dog missing shortly after the dog was located and reunited with its owner. Officers conducted a few VIN inspections for community members. The Sheriff's Office received several calls in regards to warrants. An officer returned the calls and was able to help inform the individuals as needed. That concludes today's roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates.
Today's High Canyon Country happenings, March 24th and 25th, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., John and Erica Moore will be teaching a horsemanship clinic that will improve the communication and relationship between you and your horse. Topics of study include developing softness, groundwork and its importance, developing a respectful attitude from your horse, and much more. Please contact La Plata Equine Center in Mancos for more information. That's 970-739-6696. Wednesday, March 21st at the Cortez Cultural Center from 6 to 8 p.m., Veterinarian Tales. It's an evening of true tales about people and their pets, and livestock and working animals too, with local retired veterinarian Marty McKean. From his experience as a military veterinarian through his years practicing on large and small critters, Marty has seen a lot. The relationships interwoven between humans and their animals are both complex and varied. Expect to laugh, cry, and even scratch your head. For more information, call 970-565-1151. And a reminder that tonight, Monday, March 19th, it's the Dove Creek Town Candidates Forum. There are 8 contenders running for 4 trustee seats and 1 running for mayor. This will be your chance to find out more about each candidate so you can make a knowledgeable decision. The town board is an important part of your life living in Dove Creek. Why not participate in your future? And if you can't make it to the community center from 6 to 8 p.m. tonight, DCTV will be live streaming it on Facebook, so you can check it out on DCTV News at Noon Facebook page. And all of the happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather and original stories, and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us by email, dcbnnews@gmail.com, or call the station 970-677-4119, and we'll be sure to get your news on the air.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. on each of those days. The weekday news shows are then replayed throughout the weekend as well.
And be sure to check us out on Facebook. It's DCTV News at Noon. Please like us there and share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.